Number 6, Amelia Joyner. Number 7, Alana Hatch. Number 8, Anna Lee. Number 9, Susanna Morales Campos. Number 10, Hannah Flieger. Number 11, Kylie Jackson. Number 15, Margaret Young. Number 18, Angelina Finitry. Number 20, Candace Johnson. The Statesmen are coached by Jenna Castacrone, assisted by Shannon Rogers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your CCBC Essex Knights. Number 1, Kayla Willis. Number 3, Mackenzie Hunt. Number 5, Kylie Stalvitz. Number 8, Samantha Grace. Number 9, Bailey Arnett. Number 12, Samantha Hosier. Number 13, Abby Meadows. Number 15, Danielle Lassan. Number 20, Kara Halpin. Number 23, Rebecca Verdi. And number 45, Reagan Cantner. The Knights are coached by Steve King, assisted by Emily Vetchery, Ricky Greensfelder, and Jeff Weiderhold. Ladies and gentlemen, here at CCBC Essex, we embody the spirit of sportsmanship because it is an important component of being a student athlete. We ask that you please refrain from the use of profanity and let all spectators remain positive and cheering for their favorite team.
And let's get ready to rumble, Michael Bruce Buffer would say. Welcome back to the castle here at CCBC Essex. Aaron Thomas in the broadcast booth once again bringing you all the soccer action. It is a double header of soccer from the friendly confines this afternoon. The women starting things in the opening matchup. The Knights versus the Statesmen. The Statesmen of Richard Bland College. The Knights going with their second straight game, as last night they had a matchup against Anne Arundel Community College that they won 2-0, goals from Rebecca Verdi and Michaela Phillips. The Knights outshot Anne Arundel 30-6 in that game, but doesn't really tell the full story, as the defense was really the star of the show on both sides. The Knights probably should have put well more than 2 on the board, and the defense on the Knights, well, the shutout speaks for itself. Regarding his team's performance, Coach King said, "We did all right from box to box. We were fine. We possessed the ball well. We had plenty of good opportunities and limited them to 1 or 2 decent attempts, but we were the better team." And that pretty sums it up pretty nicely. I'm sure you'd like to see a better performance, though, from start to finish here this afternoon. It was more of a second half breakout for the Knights in yesterday's game. First half a little sluggish, though they didn't give up any offensive opportunities to Anne Arundel. Speaking of offensive opportunities, early offense for the Knights. It's still bouncing around. We'll take a few more bounces thanks to that head ball from Willis. And the action starting early in game number 1 on this Tuesday afternoon. The Knights ranked number 15 in the rankings right now. 10-5 overall, 6-1 in the conference, 4-1 at home, and a 4-game winning streak on the line. Yesterday's 2-0 win was the 7th shutout of the year. Yeah, both soccer teams playing their best ball right now, and that is point blank. And what a save by the defense on the second go-round. Wow. Blink and you missed it. The offense coming in bunches, but rejected on all accounts. It's still scoreless. Willis goes for the long ball, and the goalie for the Statesman is happy to have an easy one. Tiffany Hargett made the initial save, and then the open net defense, I believe Catherine Dixon came in, got the deflection. Regardless, right time, right place. Statesman trying to pull an upset here. Last time these two programs met was back in 2019. It was an 8-1 victory for the Knights. Nobody on either one of these teams, though, was involved in that contest, and that was great communication. The goalie calling off the defender. My ball. Richard Bland, the Statesman, come into today's contest 4-8 overall on the year, 1-4 in the conference, and 3-4 away on the road this year. Lost 5 out of their last 7 games. But did win their most recent game, 2-0 victory at USC. Now let's say it all with me here. Salkehatchie. So a tough start to, or a tough season for the Statesmen. But a chance to put together a 2-game winning streak in the closing portions of the year. And right idea, but way too much mustard on that dog. But the first offensive run there for the Statesmen is a good one. Can that be a momentum-stealing play? Really was no feeling out process in this game as the Knights came out firing, almost peppering the goal right away. That play for the Statesmen, though, buying the defense a little breather. Defense looking for a clear here. Tough catch. Challenge met, though, by the goalie. Some early action. Some early challenges. Meeting all the challenges so far, the Statesmen are. Oh, great attempt at the 2-man game there between Willis and Grace. Didn't work out, but the Knights offense still building. Ooh, that pass just behind its target. Great idea. Knights playing aggressive, but not seeing really any one-on-one play. A real willingness to pass the ball on display in this first 5 minutes. The beautiful game. Looked like the ref wanted to play advantage there for a second, see if the Statesman got that, but a handball there, accidental of course, but did get the arm. Ball turned into a boomerang there for a second. Went into the offensive zone for the Statesmen. Came right back. And the Knights on the merry-go-round once again. Talked about yesterday's game against Anne Arundel for the Knights. 2-0 victory, but it was a second half explosion because we went into halftime tied at 0-0. It was a rock fight. Now, the start to this game, much different than the start to yesterday's game. The Knights, some early offensive chances, but still, the result's the same. Playing to a scoreless tie right now. As we inch closer and closer to the 30-minute mark. Still a lot of time left in this first half, and then, of course, a whole another second half after this. Here's a good quality run. Oh, my. Building slowly but surely. And another go at it, maybe. Not enough on it. How many times did it seem like, and what a punt. Oh, what a great job of using the body as a shield by Meadows. Solid defense. Statesman still with a chance as it'll stay in this offensive area. But let's go back to that run at goal a moment ago from the Knights. How many times did it look like that run was going to come to an end? Statesman defense, right time, right place, making the save, making the play, but the Knights staying right on it, creating that opportunity. Great job by both teams, staying aggressive, playing smart ball. It's been a great start, and blow the whistle. He's part of the field technically, but that one a bit much. Statesman looking to take advantage of the whistle. That was another quick run towards the goal for the Statesman, but something there. There was space on that side of the field, just no one there to take advantage of it in a green jersey. But still, plays like that can build momentum. Plays like this can steal games, though, if they work out for you. That was a great one-on-one look for Willis, catching a lucky bounce, but great job of putting the body on the line by the goalie for the Statesman, Tiffany Hargett. No hesitation. Sometimes you play goalie, it's kill or be killed. Decided to live to see another day. If you hesitate for a moment there, then Willis probably gets a better look at that. Instead, goalie's right there on top of it, making sure that if Willis does score here, it's going to be because she's perfect. We've seen Willis pull off some perfect plays, but that one, not one of them. Another tremendous punt. I mean, you'd love to be able to see that controlled if you're a Statesman player, coach, or fan. But just clearing that ball all the way onto the other side of the field like that, making the Knights have to connect passes all over again, gives everybody in a green jersey a chance to catch their breath, regroup, talk a little strategy. Seen some good communication on the field from both teams. Grace trying to play towards space there, but the Statesman defense saw what was developing. Angie Finnerty, nice defensive play from the midfield spot. Again, that ball turned into a boomerang, though. Went up into the offensive zone for the Statesmen, came right back. Return to sender, so to speak. There'll be a goal kick here for the Statesmen as the Knights just put the boots to it. Getting closer and closer to the 30-minute mark. I said earlier that it seemed like we skipped the feeling out process as the Knights came right out peppering the goal. Kind of seems like we've regressed the moment for a bit, went back into that feeling out process. Though I guess if we were to look at it in terms of time of possession, the Knights still in control. Though the offensive chances not looking as good over the last few minutes as they were a moment or two ago. Willis. Coaching staff, I'm sure, loves to see the aggressive play. The referee would maybe like to see her pull up a little. It's a tough play on both sides. I mean, obviously, goalie has just as much of a right to that ball as anyone else on the field. So she's going in after it hard and aggressive, and that'll be a whistle. Willis also has a right to that ball as well. Tough to pull up in that situation. That was then. This is now. This is a great situation for the Statesmen. 20 yards into the offensive zone. Catching a bounce maybe. No bounce to be had as Regan Cantner will catch her breath. Cannonball. Sure knocked the wind out of her. The save on the board. And that's all that matters. This game stays scoreless a little bit longer. How much longer? Oh my, an opening towards the middle, but so many green jerseys closing in on the ball. Maybe heard a few footsteps. I was just about to say before that run, Statesman defense, great job of getting back, being into position. But then out of nowhere, the middle of the field opened up. They had that run towards the goal. Here's a run for the Statesman, maybe. Looking to turn the corner. No one making a run in towards the goal. Would have taken a one-on-one effort. The run by Kylie Jackson. Maybe another run here. Statesman looking to switch fields. Good hustle. Knights get it right back. Looking to go defense to offense with some urgency. Connecting a through ball offsides by just a hair. And the Statesman defense, good job of using that offsides call as an extra defender. You saw the defense slow down there just for a second. Offense got behind the defense. Quick and easy call. Certainly wasn't egregious offsides. Wasn't offsides by much, but it's good defense. Under 30 minutes to play now in the first half. Knights looking to build a little bit more momentum for themselves. The Knights looking for space on that far sideline, not finding anything that time, but possession arrow stays where it is. What do we see after the throw-in? It's a cool and breezy late afternoon, early evening here at the Castle. Can't imagine weather play much of a factor. Oh, my! Into the top corner, and that cookie's going to be sweet. Catching it on the bounce. Kylie Staubitz gets the scoring started with goal number 5 on the season, matching the number on the back of her jersey. The sophomore putting a laser through the breeze there. Does that change the feel to this game a little bit? You saw before that run for the Knights, the Statesmen building a little bit of momentum for themselves offensively. No real good looks at the goal, but a couple of runs, some longer possessions. Does that force the Statesmen to pick up their aggressiveness? Or is that the goal that starts the scoring for the Knights? The Knights come into today's game averaging 2.8 goals per game, but they're also 16th in the nation at the start of this week in goals scored. They scored 2 yesterday, so I don't know how that impacts those rankings, but top 20 at the start of the week with a chance to go up from there. The Knights have some firepower. The thing they've struggled with this season, though, is it's kind of coming from not one particular player and more just spread out amongst the team, which is good if you're a coach. You'd love to see that. It's always great. Look, I mean, they've got 5 players with at least 5 goals scored on the year, and that's a great sign of a complete team. But also, when you have tight contests, you always feel a little bit better when you have one player that you can look to and say, you know, this person is going to create an offensive opportunity. Willis looking to create an offensive opportunity here. I think the thing with this Knights team, as we get closer and closer to the tournament, the thing with this team is they're not going to win a lot of 6-5 games. They're not going to win a lot of 4-5 games, probably. But if they can keep that game 1-0, 2-1, it's going to be a tough contest for any team that goes up against them to close out this year. Knights currently looking to close out the year on a winning streak. 4 games in a row coming into this one. As Grace through 2 defenders. Now the Knights connecting passes. Willis, one more. Staubitz with a move. Oh, what a dish! Great offense. Connecting passes up the field. Unselfish play. I talked about a moment ago. 5 players with 5 goals scored. And, I kind of painted it almost as a negative that they didn't have one player that you can look to and say, oh, this is the offensive juggernaut on the team. Well, they may not have that one player, but they have plays like that where everyone's touching the ball and they're moving the ball up the field effortlessly, putting good shots on the goal 5 shots on net, 2 goals scored here for the Knights in the first 45. Statesman looking to stop the bleeding here. Inching closer and closer to the 20-minute mark of this first half. Good offensive move there. Around 2 players, keeping this possession alive. Possession ends there. Staubitz flexing the defense that time. Willis turns on the Jets and saves that one. Good run. Now the passing game starts and quickly ends. Willis so fast. You saw that run just a moment ago. It's one thing to have that type of top-end speed, and it's another thing entirely to be able to hit that kind of top-end speed in the blink of an eye. Willis went from not moving at all to quickly catching that ball on the sideline, keeping that possession alive. For a moment, that looked like the same kind of play that they scored on just a few minutes ago. Connecting passes with ease. Looking to do it again here. Hosier to Grace. And Grace gets her pass deflected. Now, almost said an opportunity for the Statesman, but that through ball found its way all the way through. Stonewalled. Knights midfield. Pushing it up to the forwards. And a missed touch will switch those possession arrows. Statesman will take over. Little hot potato after the throw in. Each team had a chance at it. Knights pushing in towards the middle and getting sent back. Statesman's defense has had some plays and had some moments. This game could look worse. That's not much of a help for them, though, right now, though. Could have been. Willis plays the space, and we had a few teams on Monday night who could have used that. I guess the Chargers found the one kick they needed. Good job by Willis playing that over the head towards the open space, keeping the goal-scoring opportunity alive. I think a little frustration here from the Statesman. Tired legs probably playing a factor. Not pushing up the field. Tough to play to control against this Knights team in general. Kind of ball pressure they apply at the midfield. If you're confining yourself to one area of the field, it's going to get that much tougher because the Knights defense It's going to continue to creep up the field. Look now, they've got 2 players playing back. Both of them are pushing up towards the midfield. Good tackle there on the far sideline, poking it away from the defense of the Statesmen. Sideline judge says it's going the other way, though. Statesmen will hold on to possession. Under 20 minutes to play in this first half. Knights put 2 straight on the board. And that is the difference in this one. Knights are working on their possible 8th shutout of the year right now. Great job to win a possession. Kylie Jackson with a great effort on the far sideline. What will it lead to? It at worst leads to a breather. And that's indeed all it will be. Knights right back on the merry-go-round. Finally, a lucky bounce goes the Statesman's way. So the Knights come in averaging 2.8 goals per game. The Statesmen 1.8. Problem with that 1.8 goals per game for the Statesmen, it's coming on 1.3 shots per game. So, you know, something's got to give there. Offense coming at a premium for the Statesmen. Offense not always coming effortlessly for the Knights at points this year, but 19.9 shots per game is the average on the year for the Knights. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Don't have a cough button at this level, so you just got to take the headset off and do your best to make sure that you didn't hear that. And maybe you didn't. Maybe I just outed myself, but cover all the bases just in case. It's a family affair here at CCBC Essex. The women's soccer team on the field. We've got baseball in the stands watching. And men's soccer on the sidelines, warming up for game 2 of our doubleheader. Abby Meadows gets a foot on it, and a lucky roll goes the Knights' way. This green jersey was the first one there, but couldn't get a foot on it. Staubitz going too fast. Ran right into the backside of another player. Knights taking over with possession here. Throw in under 15 minutes to play in the first half. Scoring has slowed down here. The offense has slowed down as well. Knights haven't had a good look at the goal really since their last goal scored. It's a good sign if you're a Statesman player, coach, or fan. Keeping those comeback hopes alive, keeping those upset hopes alive. The Statesmen really need is the Knights to maybe make a mistake. If the Statesmen can find the Knights being a little bit too aggressive, catch a quick transition opportunity, go defense to offense with some urgency, that can go a long way. Changing the song on the field. Right now it's a Knights solo. Statesman trying to make it a duel. Won't happen on that play. Maybe this one here. Throw in for the green jerseys. Mental lapse there, I'm sure. Just dribbled that one right out of bounds. Running out of real estate anyway. Defense for the Knights at times looks like it's everywhere. They're not. There's space out there to be had. Problem is they're everywhere you are. Again, no space, but an opportunity throw in deep in the offensive zone. Cannot find somebody to dump this ball off to, and it's a turnover. Tough break there for the Statesmen, but a lucky bounce there. It's right back into their offensive zone. Couple of good moves there. And a pass that found its target but couldn't be controlled. Statesmen, though, more chance to create offense. This is a good run for them over the last 4 or 5 minutes. Keeping this ball in their offensive zone, building some momentum. A bounce, one more. Way too many white jerseys there for that to be a good quality opportunity. Good strike to put it in towards the box. 3 white jerseys, only 1 green one. Tough ratio for the Statesmen. Here's a tough spot for the Statesmen. Ball played in towards the middle, but cleared out. Defense, right time, right place. Not out of the danger zone just yet, though. 10 minutes to play in the first half. Still 2-0 Knights, but for how much longer? On the merry-go-round once again, searching for offense, and here's a nice sign if you're a Statesman player, coach, or fan. Number 11, Kylie Jackson, the injured player who left the game earlier, checks back into the game. Willis. One possession for the Knights, but could not find a teammate on that pass. And it's one and done. Change of possession. Oof. Great idea. Just needed to put that second pass up the field past the space as opposed to the player. Knights playing hot potato with some passes here. Connecting with ease. Oh. I was going to say good heel flick, but better recovery defensively by the forward, number 7, Lena Hatch. Knights offense stopped on a dime, but so did the defense, creating that change of possession. Saw the Statesmen build a little something for themselves a few minutes ago offensively. Can they continue to stack Lincoln logs? Build a house, a goal, a comeback, a hope. Still have plenty of hope right now. Second 45. Still in front of us. 8 minutes left in this first half. And a manageable 2-0 deficit. It's only a hill they've got to climb right now. It's not a mountain. They got to keep it right where it is right now, though. Great offense around 1. Gives it up. Oh, good through ball. Somebody there. Better save. What a save. And she was offside, so it doesn't matter. But what an effort. Bailey Arnett put the shot on. And the goalie for the Statesmen, Tiffany Hargett, putting the body on the line. Paying the price, I'm sure, as she's slow to get up. Effort gets you mighty far in life. And you'll go places with that kind of effort. That one rolls out of bounds. The slingshot did not work that time for the Knights. 6 minutes is all that separates these two teams from the halftime whistle. What will be the adjustments for these two teams at halftime? What will be the strategy for these two teams? And that one bounces over the shoulder of Arnett. Less drama. Same chance, though. Is there an adjustment to be made for the Statesmen that gets them back to even? We saw the Knights kind of semi-explode on Anne Arundel yesterday. 2 goals in the second 45. 2 goals in the second 45 here this afternoon may be it. And Arnett cannot be denied this time. The catch and dribble creates enough space to finish the open net, and that is a tough break for the Statesmen in the final 5 minutes of this first half. That'll certainly put a sour note on this first 45. So their manageable 2-0 deficit just became a little bit less manageable as it moves to 3-0 now. And a chance for more scoring, as now with under 5 minutes to play in the first half, the Knights take control again, but only for a moment. Little hot potato at the midfield between these two teams. Statesmen looking for action and not finding any there. Remember, fans, this is only the first half. We've got the second half in front of us, and then also a second game in front of us as well. The men's team here at CCBC Essex will take on the Howard Community College Dragons, and those are two teams that are very familiar with one another. They met twice last year, once in the regular season and then once in the playoffs. Both of those were wins for the Knights, but both of them were also close games. And that is a handball, comes up on the bounce and catches Kara Halplin. A gift here in the late stages of the first half for the Statesmen. Can they put something on net? 8 yards into their offensive zone. They need a bounce. Ball's coming. They'll get another chance at it. No angle there, though. No space either, as one white jersey right on the backside and then two more coming to make it that much more difficult. And it is one and done at that look. Not a great run there. Bailey Arnett gets her flowers on the goal that we saw a few minutes ago. .120 ticks left on the clock here in this first half. Knights looking for goal number 4 and finding it on the foot of Kayla Willis. Kayla Willis with goal number 8 on the year. 1 minute and 55 seconds left here in this first half, and the late stages of this first half have really turned into a nightmare for this Richard Bland Statesman team. We were scoreless for a while. 2 straight goals put on by the Knights about midway through this first half, and you were thinking if the Statesmen could get into halftime just down 2, you feel good about a comeback chance, as they would just need 1 or 2 things to break their way in the second half. Now they need 1 or 2 things to break their way and then 3 or 4 more after that, as things have started to turn ugly here in the late stages of this first 45. That certainly not ugly, though, as Kylie Jackson with some great footwork on the near sideline, creating space out of thin air almost. A late run at the goal here for the Statesmen, maybe. 55 seconds left in the first half. Now maybe a late run at the goal for the Knights. Green jersey's trying to say nay. Oh, Willis plays towards space, but the Statesman saw what was developing. Good clear. That'll take a few seconds off the clock. The Knights will still get a good look at it, though. Maybe. Clear in towards the box. It's bouncing around. It'll take a buzzer beater. 10 seconds. Shot. And what a save! And what a way to close the first half. The Knights peppering the goal once again, but the challenge met by the Statesman defense. It'll stay 4-0 as we go into halftime. What will be the final score in this one? You're going to have to stick around with us and find out. Game number 1 is halfway in the books.
Padres. It'll be tough.
Yeah, and they kind of both have to win the same way. They need their starters to be great. I mean, you feel maybe a little bit better about the Padres bullpen, but I kind of always expect with Hader that the shoe's going to drop eventually, just because when you throw that hard and they hit you, it goes far. You know, that's just the nature of that position. Talking a little baseball in the during the halftime as we see the Cleveland Guardians letting down the rest of non-Yankees fan America as they find themselves down 5-1 in Game 5 of the final American League Divisional Series in the Major League Baseball playoffs. What a day for sports. You got Game 5 of the American League Divisional Series, and then the NBA regular season starts today. And then, of course, this double header of soccer action here at the Castle. Second 45 underway in this 4-0 game between CCBC Essex Knights and the Richard Bland College Statesmen. Catching the cannonball on the second bounce. This is the second game in as many days for the Knights. Games on back-to-back days. Not common at this level, but you got to do what you got to do when you're trying to make up some games. Yesterday's game was a makeup from a game that was rescheduled due to weather. Most important thing for this Knights team, though, at this point of the year is that they are playing their best soccer right now. 4-game winning streak on the line coming into today's game, and they're 43 minutes away from seeing that winning streak maybe move to 5. They're also 43 minutes away from maybe seeing their 8th shutout of the year. Crazy to think about. As we see a save there. 10 victories on the year coming into today's game. 7 by way of the shutout. Knights connecting some passes here. Good ball pressure put on by the forwards. Trying to take this ball away from Meadows. Meadows carries it as far as she can. And Arnett has it taken away from her. Possession stays here. For how much longer? As the Knights can't control it for long after that throw-in. Defense to offense with some urgency. They needed that second pass to be on the money, though, and it wasn't. Just a little bit too far out in front. That was something developing there, though, for a moment for the Statesmen. Speaking of developments, you see on that far sideline the men's team starting to take their spot behind the goal, going through some warm-ups. It's a nice friendly reminder that this is just game 1 of a doubleheader. And what a save, but nothing happening on the second go-round. That is a tough break there, as that first save was tremendous. Just couldn't catch it. So there was a chance at the rebound. The Knights crashed the goal. Got the scoring started early here in the second half. Goal number 5 comes almost 5 minutes into the second 45. That's got to be a tough break if you're a goalie. You make that initial save, and you know it's a tough save to make, but you also know when you don't catch it cleanly, that's usually what happens. That net's open behind you. We saw a play like that happen earlier in the first half, but the defense, right time, right place, they were able to make the save with the body. This time, too much net. Making a run here. Knights looking for space. Staubitz turning the corner. Finding green grass, but also a few green jerseys. And that takes a very unlucky bounce for the Statesmen, as the Knights will have another go at it. So much spin on that ball. Afternoon has turned to evening, and the lights are on at the castle. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you at home for joining us on this Tuesday. And also a special thank you to our good friends at Chick-fil-A Nottingham Square catering the event. As always, keeping the fans in the castle fed with delicious chicken sandwiches, cookies, chips, and drinks. Got to come out to a game here at the castle. Not many more chances to catch soccer, as we are right around the corner from some playoff action. But the flip side to that coin is we are right around the corner from some women's basketball action. Check out the CCBC Essex website for updates and scheduling for the upcoming playoffs for men's and women's soccer, and also the upcoming women's basketball regular season opener. You're not going to want to miss any of that. You're never going to want to miss the action, really, at the castle. It's always good, and the chicken sandwiches are always on deck. Come check out a game here at CCBC Essex. Knights looking for some more action here. Free kick, far sideline. Or near sideline, excuse me. Almost 10 minutes into this second half, looking for more action. Can't catch it, but punches it away. Not out of the danger zone just yet. And the Statesmen will make the Knights do it again. This time with a throw-in, though. Hosier catch, shoot, and just misses on that. That was a little bit closer than I initially thought. I thought that was going to split the uprights of the field goal post. Instead, just a little high and wide. Missed opportunity. You can afford, easy for me to say, to miss a few opportunities if you're the Knights. Up 5-0. One of the other alarming numbers on that big board is 1, and that is shots on goal for the Statesmen. And if you combine that with the shots on goal that the Knights gave up in yesterday's game, that's 3 and a quarter halves played, and only 7 shots on goal surrendered by this Knights defense. 6 shots on goal in 2 halves, in 1 full game, I should say, yesterday. And 1 shot on goal surrendered in this first half and first 10 minutes of the second half. So this Knights defense putting together their best effort to close out the regular season. Coach King got to be happy with what he's seeing from his team. We talked about earlier in the first half, the Knights may not have one player on the team that you can look at and point to and say they're going to carry the load offensively. And I think really why that stands out so much, because people around the program got spoiled when Kara Dietrich was here and she was carrying the offensive load so much. This year, no Dietrich and no player like Dietrich. Instead, it's a really true team effort all around, game in and game out from this Knight squad. And that may not be the recipe for a lot of blowouts, but it is a recipe for being right in the middle of a lot of games. And that's what you want at this point of the year. Give me a chance. And the Knights are certainly going to have a chance to make some noise as we head into the playoffs. That's then. This is now, though. Can the Statesmen make a little bit of noise? Comeback hopes on life support here, even though there's still so much time left. 33 minutes left here in this game, but you got to think what started out as a small 2-0 deficit is ballooned into a 5-0 deficit. At one point I said it's not a mountain, it's just a hill. Well, I think it's safe to say it's certainly turned into a mountain now. Knights trying to make it Mount Everest. Looking for one more. Defense for the Statesmen. Right play at the right time. Pokes it away. And this one is caught between the legs. Good save there. Little hot potato teams going back and forth with it. Statesmen obviously need control if they want to get some scoring done, but a little hot potato game also give the defense and midfielders a chance to regroup, catch a breather. They'll take that as well. A win is a win, as the kids would say. Statesman caught the wrong side of that deflection after the throw in. Possession arrow went Knights, and it goes Knights again. This time further up the sideline. As we hit the 30-minute mark of this second half, the Knights have already put one on the board in the second 45. Can they put on a few more? They're trying to start with one more right here, right now. Long shot. And that'll be a corner. Initially wrapped up, but then when the ball hit the ground, or when the body hit the ground, the ball kind of squirted out. Tough break there. As I think we'll see a goalie switch at some point here in this second half. A look over onto that far sideline. I see somebody warming up with a goalie jersey on for the Statesman. And that's a good catch. The other goalie they have listed on their roster is freshman goalie Rachel Fields. 8 games started on the year for Fields, so some experience. Lewis with a step over, creating some space. Here's a run for the Statesman. First time we've seen this in the second half. Now they need a cross, and there is not enough players in the offensive area, and that is really just a sign of what kind of day it's been at the office for the Statesman. Tired legs, I'm sure, playing a factor. Under 30 minutes to play. That offensive opportunity kind of came out of nowhere. They took it as far as they could initially. What do they have here? Looking for one more shot on the deflection, and it never finds its target. One more chance, maybe? Nay, nay, says the Knights defense. One and done. The stretching and warm-up routines for both men's teams going on the sidelines. CCBC Essex Knights, number 3 ranked team, taking on the Howard Community College Dragons. That's game number 2. Kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock. Really hope you can stick around with us for game number 2. Should be a great game. 2 programs that are not really fond of one another and are known to play some tight physical games. As we see some really good passing there. 2-man game on display. Statesman saw what was developing. Made the play at the last second. Needed a pass there, but even if a through ball came, no guarantee that it was going to find its target, as he only had 2 green jerseys in that portion of the field. 4 white jerseys just chomping at the bit, waiting to make a play. He'll have to make another play here. Better opportunity, looking to split the defense, and Meadows, last second, steps in and makes the tackle. Great effort, though, from Lena Hatch. Effort gets you mighty far in life. And the effort certainly on display there. Statesman looking for space on the near sideline this time, finding none of it. It took the Knights a minute or two to realize that if that ball went out of bounds, it was going to be off them. Stallbitz, catch, create some space. Around one defender, now a second. One pass. Two pass. And that one is a little bit too far out in front. Mackenzie Hunt trying to run into that one. And the defense for the Statesmen again. Right time, right place, last second. Coaching staff would always rather have the defensive save be a little less dramatic, but as long as you make the save, that's all they really care about. And what a shot put on there. What an effort. Blink and you missed it. That looked like a clear coming from the Knights. Elena Hatch stuck the leg out last second, put a good shot on net. That is a what could have been opportunity. The scoreboard looking the way it does, though. 5-0 Knights. Statesmen, all they can do is just take a deep sigh. Not their day. Knights have been the buzzsaw a few times this season. Once again, cutting the other team in half. 5 unanswered goals put on the board for the Knights with 24 minutes left in the game. Those 5 goals coming on 12 shots on goal, so great ratio for this Knights team. They don't just put goals on the board, they make the most of the opportunities they get. I think that's why it came as such a surprise to everyone that they only put 2 goals on the Riverhawks yesterday. Now, I know that sounds like I'm being disrespectful to the Riverhawks, but to me it was more flowers. It's a great defensive game from Anne Arundel and the Knights. Of course, the Knights pitched the shutout. Anne Arundel kept their comeback hopes alive all the way till the end. The case could be made here. The Statesmen, their comeback hopes died in the late stages of the first half. You knew it was going to be tough for them to put 4 on the board. Coming into today's game, averaging just 1.8 goals per game, and then the Knights on the other side averaging just 1.2 goals against. Statesmen needed to keep this game low scoring, could not do that. And Willis looking for more goals here, staying aggressive, got through a few green jerseys. That last one was one too many, though. It'll be a corner kick, third of the game for the Knights. Ball's in the air. 2 green jerseys. One of them got a body on it. Willis looking to put it right back in towards the box. Shot. And right into the waiting hands of the keeper. Easy save. Great setup, though, there from the Knights. How many times have we seen that? A willingness to make that extra pass. We're talking 2013 San Antonio Spurs stuff here out there. The way this Knights team is connecting passes. Maybe one too many passes there that time. Arnett looked like she maybe could have carried for a few seconds. Oh, great physical play. Lena Hatch stole it away and then used the body as a shield. Number 7 all over the field here this afternoon for the Statesmen. And Kylie Lewis is down once again. Tough look here for the Statesmen. as that number 11 jersey has been all over the turf as well. Sadly, though, for them, been all over the turf on the field and on the backside. It's been a tough game. Second time she's leaving for an injury. And also here we do finally see that goalie switch. Flowers earned and given to Tiffany Hargett. I know it's hard to think of a 5-goal deficit as a good game at the office, or a good day at the office, but I think it certainly was a good day at the office for number 1, the sophomore Tiffany Hargett. This game could be a lot worse if it wasn't for the effort from number 1 in the goalie jersey today. And Rachel Fields immediately sees one. Knights looking for the slingshot up the field. Under 20 minutes to play. Willis looking to create. Not finding space, so she drops it off to a teammate. Long shot, uncorked. Fields catches it on the second bounce. And that was dangerous there. Statesman kind of just gave that opportunity to the Knights. Knights looking for space on the near sideline this time. And not finding any good defensive effort there, stonewalled. Hannah Flieger, I believe that was, with the defensive effort. See some substitutions check into the game. Kylie Jackson checks back in again. Maybe that second injury was just a little cramping. Certainly would be no surprise the amount of running number 11 has done for the Statesmen and everyone else there out on the field. The Knights, though, doing most of their running in the offensive portion of the field. Oh, nice spin move, creating some space and winning a possession. Great effort again from the Statesmen. Too bad for them again. We are playing with a boomerang right back into the offensive zone. Meadows looking to carry. Now the cross. Nothing happening there. Cross never came. Instead, the Knights dumped it off. Got a shot off. Miss 100% of the shots. You don't put on net, though. approaching 15 minutes left to play in this second half, and we got to talk about the second half effort from this Statesman defense. I do think the Knights have slowed down their offensive effort a little bit, but for the Statesman defense to hold this Knights offense to just one goal scored almost 30 minutes into this second half, that is an accomplishment. Something to build on as we get closer and closer to the end of this game and the end of the regular season. That ball bounces all the way up and over the net. Little hot potato. These teams going back and forth with possession over the last 30 seconds. Willis wins it, takes it. Meadows gets ahead on that rocket. The cross from Blizzard. And wow, Meadows. Ears were probably ringing after that one. Little bit of something, whole lot of nothing. Meadows takes that gift. And oh my. She thought she had a goal there. Instead, she caught the deflection. Statesman looking for the clear. Left foot this time, and Fields is right there to make the save. Knights right back on the merry-go-round, looking for that one extra pass to put that ball in towards the box. And the pass never came, but the shot, well, they still took it. It's not from where they initially wanted. Oh, what a through ball. And I think it caught Meadows by surprise there. She's maybe half a second behind it. Stuck the foot out, got a piece of it, but couldn't play it with control. A great pass, though. As we approach the 10-minute mark in this second half, now is a good chance to, one, thank you all for joining us, but also encourage you again to join us for game number 2. CCBC Essex Knights men's team going up against the Howard Community College Dragons. A rematch of 2 games that took place last season, I should say. Dragons and Knights met twice last year, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. Both wins for the Knights, but both very close physical games. So if you love defensive soccer, you may want to check in or check out game number 2. You're definitely going to want to check out the CCBC Essex website for updates on the team as we get closer and closer to the tournament. We have some playoff action next Saturday live from the Lions Den at CCBC Dundalk. What a time for this Knights team to be playing their best ball. Putting it on the line when it matters most. 10 minutes left. In the second half, the Knights are just 10 minutes away from their 5th straight victory and their 8th shutout of the year. What a record. I mean, just 8 shutouts on the year. Something to be proud of for sure. And Fields putting together a great effort here in relief. Ball's bouncing around between the two teams. Ref brings a stop to the action. It'll stay in this portion of the field, though. Free kick for the Knights. About 17, maybe 18 yards into their offensive zone. You didn't expect for Meadows to put a big kick on this. Have this take a lucky bounce. Or maybe she'll just go for the net and find the back of it. Oh my goodness! Ood lolly, golly, what a play! Abby Meadows with a goal of the night. Top shelf cookies, always sweet, but even sweeter late at night. Some late night snacking from number 13 for goal number 6. And is that all she wrote in terms of the scoring here in game number 1? Meadows says that's not all the scoring for me. Oh, what a save by Fields! Going down and making the save. Catching the cannonball on the initial go-round. Because if that bounces off, then the Knights probably have a player crashing the goal, and they maybe get goal number 7. Meadows loaded up the big cannon. And the reserve goalie for the Statesman says, "Fool me once." Well, you know how it goes. Oh, nice move, creating some space. Then the dump off. Here comes the cross. Nay, nay, says the Statesman defense. A great effort from the Statesman defense in the second half continues. And we saw some great moments of effort in the first half, but a tough run to close out the first half really put a sour note on the first 45 for the team in the green jerseys. They put that behind them, came out swinging here in half number 2, holding their own, not in terms of goals scored. They're still being shut out at it for all my Bob's Burger fans out there. But holding the Knights defense or offense, to just 2 goals scored in the second half, I do think that's something to be proud of for the Statesman team. We've hit the 5-minute mark now in half number 2. The game's certainly coming to a close here. We got 2 teams looking forward to the end of this game for 2 very different reasons. The Knights, 5 minutes and 40 seconds away from their 5th straight victory, 8th shutout on the year, and improving to 11-5 overall, 5-1 at home. And of course, the Statesmen, the other side of that coin, they will be falling to 4-9 on the year, 3-5 on the road. So their tough season will sink a little bit lower. But games like this, moments like this, they're coachable moments. How do they put it behind them and prove as individuals and as a team? Knights still looking for goals. Keeping the foot on the gas pedal. It's really important to do that too as we get into towards the end of this season. When we get in towards the tournament, if they can't decide seeding in terms of wins and losses and overall conference record, the other thing that they'll take into consideration is goals scored. So when you have games like this where you can put on a few extra, it helps your team, or possibly could help your team in the long run. 240 ticks left on that clock. 4 minutes left in the contest. Meadows searching for something spectacular. Excuse me, that was not Meadows. Substitutions checking into the game for both teams. Willis stopping on a dime there. Holding on to possession and keeping it with a nice move there. 1 pass, 2 pass, and the 2-man game did not work out that time. And that is a bad throw in. Did not come over the head that time. .120 ticks left on that clock now. As we get the flyover from the helicopter above us. Oh, nice move, Willis. Could not split the defense with the pass, and there is the push right in front of the ref. Coachable moment, 90 seconds left. Free kick for the Statesmen, about 11, 12 yards into their offensive zone. Could be the last hoorah for them offensively. Can they get the bounce they need here? Oh, they almost get it. You had 3 players going for that ball. Somebody got a body on it, but I don't know which one it did. Regardless, it doesn't go out the way the Statesmen wanted, but they're still knocking on opportunity's door here again. This time Regan Cantner catches the cannonball easily. Under a minute to play now. And I do think that will be the last hoorah offensively for the Statesmen. Knights maybe play a little keep away from here on out. Or not. Ask and you shall receive. One more chance for offense. Can they break through? Statesman returned to sender, but that will be all she wrote for this one. As the clock is 5 seconds away from hitting triple zeros. The ref was going to bring it to stoppage there. As I see a tough play to close this game out. A tough way to end a tough day at the office for the Statesmen. Final score in this one, 6-0. Stick around for Game 2 of our doubleheader. CCBC Essex Knights men's team taking on the Howard Community College Dragons. If that's it for you tonight, well, hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night and the rest of your week. Until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.